Hello, this is Carl, also known as Zarepath in the custom Magic community, and today I wanted to do another drafting with bots. I haven't done it for a long time. I wanted to start getting back into it. It's where I go to planesculptors.net, where there's a lot of custom Magic sets that people have been working on, and I'm just going to draft through it with 7 very helpful and cooperative bots who pick cards randomly. So we're going to be ignoring signals and just kind of looking at the mechanics. And today I wanted to draft my own set, Netropolis, which I've been working on. I've been trying to finish it lately. The one mechanic that's really been kicking my butt is hack. I've had a lot of problems with it. I'll talk about it as I go through. So one mechanic that I've had in the set is called Privilege, where if you have more life than your opponents, you get a bonus. It's been renamed to Supremacy to kind of, help let players, not make players think the only way you can do this is with life gain, but Supremacy can also have kind of an aggressive and dominant feel to kind of clue players in. If you're aggro, you can have Privilege as well just by lowering their life total. It's in white, green, and black, the colors that care most about life. So this is a nice card. It can be pretty swingy. It's incentive for you to gain life in a turn or to make a good attack and then swing down with this guy and fill your boards. It's powerful. I still have Arm. It's a mechanic that you've probably seen in a lot of things. The +1/+1 is something I've thought about changing to +1/+0 just because toughness boosts, are pretty significant. But I've already developed around +1/+1 and it plays fine. Vanilla. I love this card because it's like Swords to Plowshares, except instead of going back to his farm, instead of fighting, he's going to start a YouTube channel and try and become famous that way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It might be good and constructed, but probably not, because they can still get the creature back. But it's a great tempo card, except that they gain life. So I'm interested if it would see play in custom standard. My guess is not, but it's an interesting design that I like. I love this. It's kind of a very nice introduction to upload. You play this creature and it uploads a card. Upload is just purgatory for cards, basically. Anytime you upload something, it gets exiled, but its owner can pay 2 to put it into his or her hand. So if you upload an opponent's permanent, it's kind of like bouncing it, except they have to pay an additional 2 to put it back in their hand. When you upload the top card of your library, it's like drawing, except you will have to pay an additional 2. So it's a lot like Investigate, except it has even broader design space, because you can tutor with an upload. There's all kinds of things you can do. Nut Run gives something prowess. That's not an effect that Wizards does often, where they give prowess, because there's kind of a complication where it's not always intuitive that creatures can have multiple instances of prowess. The reminder text on this card kind of hangs a lantern on that complication and tries to make it something cool. We're like, I can give something unblockable and prowess. What if I have a bunch of these? I can just give it tons of prowess, and each new one will trigger lots of prowess because of the other instances. So this is for a blue-red prowess deck. This is kind of just a vanilla thing for artifact matters. That you notice that I have colored artifacts in the set. Hasty black. Black doesn't get haste that often. Yep. There's a black-red sacrifice theme. Equipped fight. There's the prowess guy. This is kind of a fog, except if you have Supremacy, it can be, much more dominant and turn into kind of a one-sided thing. I like my rare dual cycle where the lands just tap and are just normal tap lands, except that later in the game you can sacrifice them for a big one-time effect. And I like that more than man lands, because man lands introduce board complexity. Like, you have to remember, did my opponent is he saving mana to block with a surprise man land? And it always sucks to attack me like, crap, I forgot about his man land. These are spells, and once they happen, they're gone. So today I wanted to let's try this blue-red archetype. Oh, okay. Planeswalkers, I'm still kind of tweaking the development on these. I wanted a white Planeswalker that focused a lot on white's sense of balance, where it has effects that are, should be fair, ostensibly fair, but it leaves it to the player's controller to cast them at times where, even though it's a fair effect, it benefits one side way more than the other. And I kind of like that for players, where they feel clever doing things like that. So this +2 gives 4 life. You can kind of do a targeted one-shot balance with his minus. We're like, okay, you have an enchantment, I don't. I choose enchantments. We each sacrifice an enchantment or a creature or Planeswalker even. You can cast him to kill himself and another Planeswalker. Or if he has 2 Planeswalkers, you can play this and just kill one right off. The emblem, I really like the idea of the emblem, but I don't know how effective it actually is in affecting a game. I imagine there's constructed implications where you would want to have that emblem, like maybe in a control mirror. You can feel better about playing out some more aggressive cards and then forcing his hand size down. So he's got to like discard card draw cards or something. But I kind of want ultimates to win the game in most games, and I don't think this one does. Kind of a clunky white upload common. Each player uploads another one of those fair effects, and then you gain life for that. So to help you establish supremacy, and if you have upload synergies, this is a big life gain card. If you have the life gain route on supremacy, where you want to just gain more life to stay ahead of your opponent instead of with tempo and aggression, this card can help with that. One of the design goals of supremacy is to make life gain cards matter more in a game, because beginners love life gain cards, and it kind of sucks when they've got their first deck, they have all of these fog effects and life gain cards because they think that will keep them ahead, when in reality they're just losing the board all over the place, and it sucks for them, and they're going to get stopped. That sucks for them. I wanted to create a mechanic that actually helped them ease from, okay, life gain matters if I can use it to create a board advantage with these supremacy cards. Some blue ramp specifically for upload and artifacts. This is going into our prowess deck. It's meant to be kind of an engine card that's a little more interactive in that your opponent can kill it. This is a great thing to cast that on, right? Like you get to upload a card, it gains double prowess, it becomes a 2/4 with double prowess, and if you upload into something you can cast, it's even better. We're going to put that in there. I forgot to look at the other cards, but don't have tons of time. I like this, and I like this for the prowess deck. This is fun because that's not a bad thing to give unblockable either if we have a big upload effect. If you cast this guy and then the next turn cast this, becomes a 4/3, and then make him unblockable, that's not that great. Blue-green is upload ramp, and this lets you put uploaded land cards you have directly onto the battlefield. Sometimes all you're uploading is lands, and it doesn't feel great to pay 2 mana just to put a land into your hand. Blue-green can actually leave him there and then cast this card to turn it into ramp directly, which is kind of fun. This is a card designed for constructed, to be kind of a white reanimation tempo card. This is for, a casual virus deck. Reanimation. We're going to try that. Try and signal to the bots, hey, stay out of blue-red. Oh my gosh. This is a massive upload card. So we're looking at 14 upload triggers. I guess only 7 for this, but then it becomes a 16/3. So that is a pretty exciting combo. We're gonna do that. This is good. Prowess decks have problems in that they need to have a certain amount of spells, but they need the right creatures to benefit from those spells. Sometimes you just start with a bunch of spells in your hand and it doesn't you no good. So this helps with that, and also the red-green mutant archetype. That we want a bunch of that creature, though. I think directly having prowess creatures is better than normal creatures that are also spells. Blue-black hack, I haven't shown it to you yet, but this kind of helps with that. When you hack, it's basically grind from Gatecrash, except hack cards generally care about the number of cards that you mill that turn. So it used to just care about the number of cards you've hacked that turn, so cards you've milled through the hack mechanic, where when you hack, you make a person mill until they mill a land card. So it can be anywhere from 1 to roughly 4. Sometimes you get lucky, it gets up to 5. But it's generally 1, 2, or 3. Average is 2.5, I think. The designs have been kind of swingy because the designs have to allow for the hack total could be 1 or it could be really high, and that creates very swingy cards. And so blue-black wants to control that. They want to put more cards on top of their opponent's library to add to their hack totals, and that's what this is. Counterspell / creature removal that I really like. It used to only work with other hack cards, and then I got some feedback that it makes more sense if it works with any milled cards, so you can mill them, and then that will work with hack as well. I am picking that guy. But it does make for a swingy mechanic, and one thing I've been toying with is making it a threshold. And just, you get a bonus effect, a fixed bonus effect, if you've milled 4 or more cards this turn after you hack. Arm, you guys have seen it before, another one of those. Another kind of uploady ramp card, also does fixing. I gotta fix the frame on Street Enforcer. A nice little 2-drop. This is a nice beater, though. Having arm tokens is good. And this is a great thing for the prowess deck because it's a cheap spell that can trigger prowess and make that creature better. And this is an actual prowess card. I haven't tested this guy much with these stats. He used to just be a 2/2 flash prowess. I like him just like this, though. This card is meant for like a weird artifact storm archetype, where you have a bunch of cheap artifacts, and you have cheap artifacts that upload when you play them. There's a cycle of 5 of them. It costs 1. Well, they're free with this. You play it, you get to upload a card. There's a blue-red uncommon that makes your upload cost -1. If you happen to have 2 of those out, you play Unhindered Progress. You get to draw a card. And then if you have enough of those free artifacts, these now free artifacts, with now free uploads, you can kind of storm through your deck, play a billion artifacts. I haven't seen it actually go off yet, though. Let's take the prowess creature. We want to make sure we have, 4 or 5 good prowess creatures for sure. Hole Punch is... is it that great for prowess? Because it only happens when they're being blocked, and we don't necessarily want our prowess creatures to be blocked. We want them to get through with this, but that means we're looking at sorcery speed. So I am going to go with this. This guy's great, and works well with that guy, although not on curve. This is a fun card I designed. Interestingly, they designed the same card in Tesla independently, and they thought it was very powerful and needed to cost 5. In my experience, maybe it depends on the format also. In my experience, it's not too powerful. It's kind of like a lava axe, basically. Except it leaves you open to being 2 for 1. I probably should have taken the counter spell there. I'm gonna hate draft that from the bots. They're not gonna get sweet blue-black removal. Okay. This, oh yeah, so that's the card I was talking about from before. It's an upload looter. Another one of those. This is my favorite flavor text in the set. It's very noir, and yeah, I just like it a lot. This guy is pretty sweet. He is solving murders. You get to upload information whenever somebody dies, and then you can counter spells depending on how much information you have. These uncommon artifact lands, they enter tapped, so I don't think they're too powerful and constructed because they enter tapped, and they only give one color. And their ability is kind of a dirtly thing, but I wanted the artifact lands to feel like artifact lands, and one thing the artifacts do is they can have repeatable abilities that cost mana. And so that's why I wanted these little uncommon scry artifact lands. They still might be too strong just by being artifacts, though. For things that care about artifacts, just having lands that are free artifacts is very powerful. Torn between Matt Harden and Data Juggler. I mean, gotta go with the rare just to see what that's like. Hack has a couple of common creatures that don't have any effects with the hack. They just hack by either dying or dealing combat damage. And that's meant to combo with your other hack cards for the bigger bonuses. Take that for some tempo. I don't even know necessarily that the blue-red deck is good, but it seems fun to draft and build, and possibly to play. We only have one net run so far. We probably want to try 2 at least. This supremacy bonus is actually potentially a drawback because it makes him attack. Of course, he has vigilance, so it works out okay. This is the artifact cycle I was telling you about, and I might actually put it in this deck because it has synergy with other uploaded cards. The red one does. Also, I mean, if I decide to run that for some reason, I can keep replaying it to get more uploads, which you can also do with that, but you would probably rather do it, that same effect with something cheaper. Sacrificing artifacts. This is also fodder for the black-red artifact sacrifice deck, which also has that uncommon, which is a finisher. That guy again. We don't have a lot of mutants right now, but we might get some. 2/3 menace is good. I mean, here's some more mutants. There's a private eye. There's that card I was telling you about before. I forgot to change each card you've hacked this turn into something else. I really like this common design. Server farm. It only gives you colorless mana, but you can, I don't know, have 4 of them in a deck, and you instantly have a ramp deck. You play one, and it helps you ramp even further, and you can get to some ridiculous ramp. Also, you can combo it with things that care about uploaded cards, like this, or that guy. Does we have that? I mean, this could also help with prowess. We only have one unblockable thing, but it's such a weak guy. I don't know. You already have mutant synergy, and that seems good. This is a experimental mutant design I had where, you know, red in Kaladesh and Ether Revolt, they were experimenting with red kind of double tapping down lands instead of destroying them. I thought, well, what if they could do that to artifacts as well? In an artifact set, destroying an artifact can be very swingy because it is often their bomb or their biggest creature. So having it just double tap down instead of red's normal, you know, enter the battlefield, destroy a artifact might be too fierce. This is kind of a fixed version of Seething Song, I think it is. And it ramps conveniently directly into this. So in Constructed, there's kind of a red ritual upload combo deck that involves that and this, you know, with a ton of uploaded cards. We're playing this guy. This guy combines, interestingly, with viruses. You know, it looks like a drawback. You have to upload cards from your hand, which means you have to have cards in your hand. So if you're uploading cards from your hand but not getting them back, he can end up just sacrificing himself. Well, what if each turn you are uploading viruses from your hand? They want to be uploaded. And I saw someone do this with this virus and the blue virus, which mills every time it's uploaded. And it was a pretty cool deck. There's other cards that can be cast from upload. This is pretty powerful. I like it. I'm going to try not to explain so much about the cards now. We already have a couple of those. Okay, speaking of swingy effects and interact with artifacts, I just saw that this design already existed in Mirrodin and wanted to try throwing it in, because blue and white care about artifacts. This cares about your opponent having artifacts, though. I don't know if that's necessarily good for the design or not, but we'll see. Blue-black hack also has other cards to do incidental mill, and yeah, we're going to do that. Data Juggler, again. Oh, I never got him originally. The bots passed him. Those silly bots. Mutants that ramp. Show Match. It's a fight spell where you gain life. So one of those white-green supremacy life gain cards. Also, I just have some cards that are normal effects that are nice to have in a deck, especially in this format, with some life gain stapled on, to give them a little more value to the supremacy decks. I probably should have taken the 4-drop there. I have a lot of 3-drops, I think. So these are for the blue-white cares about artifact archetype, but I've noticed that there's so many artifacts in the set. These are just super playable anyway. Maybe that's okay. Ghost in the Machine. It's an artifact creature spirit, because it's a ghost and a machine, and when it dies it gets uploaded. I like that design. Just a normal little flying guy. So I'm trying to decide between Private Eye and Street Thief. That's a nice beater. Protective spell, aggressive land, rare land. This is not a great card. I mean, I don't think. I'm just trying to imagine a deck that wants it even in limited, and I don't know, which maybe means it needs to be switched or strengthened. I mean, 2-drops are better than 1-drops, I guess. This is for the red-white arm deck. We have a significant number of these. Some removal might be good. We already care about uploading things, so maybe we'll do that. Oh. I mean, I want more of those. And probably more of that firepower card, which I chose not to draft that turn for some reason. I'm gonna hit refresh here. Did I not pick? Oh, another swingy rare effect. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Ooh, alright. This is the blue common hacker. Previously she wasn't unblockable, which meant that the hack players had to work extra hard to get their hack triggers, and that felt bad. So I just made her unblockable, have less power. This, I'm gonna nab that, I think. This is a blue-green ramp target. Just great tempo with that. Very good card. Another one of those. The red virus deals a lot of damage over, like, this is a win condition. It's a great card, and perhaps should be rare. I don't know. I haven't tested this card yet. I needed to fill a slot, create a common green mutant, but you have to sacrifice a creature to do it. So, interesting card. Supremacy, blue-green, upload. We're going to do that. I have an uncommon cycle of instants called Discretions, and you choose between two different ways for roughly the same effect. So in this case, you can choose to counter a spell unless I pay 1, or you can choose to counter a big spell. I like this because you can use it early for tempo or later for a bomb. This is for sacrifice deck, but is also just a big, strong thing that's hard to deal with because, you know, it can lava axe you just for killing it. Yeah, I don't need the 3rd hard reset. That's a lot of uploading. Hacker's gonna hack. With this guy, he's a hacker lord. And you know, this is oftentimes just a 3/2 unblockable that mills when it attacks them. I might end up with that. I have a lot of upload things, and maybe this would be good for that. This is kind of an aggro finisher. It's a fun card to play, even if I'm not convinced it's good, but sometimes you just want to get hasty. This is also a form of a lava axe without actually being lava axe. There's another of that cycle. They have different effects when you use mana and sacrifice them, but they all upload when you play them. We're going to do that. I don't really have many hackers, so. Alright, Cloud Colossus, one of my other favorite flavor techs. Psycorp keeps its most advanced tech in the cloud. Ha ha ha. This is meant to be kind of a balmy blue card. Balmy. Cloud. Okay, not B-A-L-M-Y, but B-O-M-B-Y. We want to... Having 2 data jugglers is great because you can live the dream of hard reset 2 data jugglers and just draw all your cards back. I mean, that seems cool. This is meant for blue-red prowess because it's good removal, but only for the early part of the game. Private Eye. And nothing great here. Some conditional black removal. Alright, so that has been the draft. Let's build it real quick. Alright. So we'll probably just need to cut 1,000,000 cards. Might keep that guy. That might be fun to test. That could be good. Sideboard. Sideboard. Road Rebel. I just love producing the ARN token. Those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys, that guy. Might just get rid of the 1-drops. Except for those. Those are great. Alright, 28. So I just need to cut down 5 cards. How many creatures do I got? I mean, I got 2 Lizardmen Outbreaks. And how important is the uploading? Maybe we just want 1 of those. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is a lot of creatures. But I have this upload synergy stuff going on. Maybe get rid of the counter spell. A lot of our prowess triggers are going to be happening on our turn. Maybe that's a sideboard card. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 23. Hey, look, I built the deck. What's more important, blue or red? Looks like blue slightly. 9 blue, 8 red. And that has been Blue-Red Prowess from Netropolis. Thank you for watching.